Welcome back, folks, to Mega Man 8 here on the Heavy Bass channel. Last time, we pursued Duo, who inadvertently went through to Iraq, the Middle East. Late 90s humor. Those Japanese, I swear. Anyway, moving on, we're heading back to Dr. Light's lab because we have some new parts completed for the same meager price that we've been saving up. For instance, we have now got the energy saver, which will allow us to save amount of requirements. This is a master item. Super recover, not very good. It's just increased the amount of weapons, even though technically that works out fine. Spare charger, pointless. Hyper slider, don't bother. Exchanger, not good. Mega Buster, that's the speed up part. Here, rapid part, that's not good. Hyper speed charge, that's okay. Increases. We're going to be taking the hyper charger because we're going to need some increased parts. The power shield, and we're going to be taking the energy to make sure that we're fine. We're going to take the energy balancer. Actually, no. What am I going to be taking? I'm going to take the laser shot. As you probably may see, and you will not be able to make all 8 item slots. There are 40 bolt items. There is no way we're going to get this all completed. Do not be discouraged. Now, Aqua Man. He's an infamous boss that encourages a stereotype that would be widely golf clapped today, but back then, he wasn't even that good of a boss. I'm sorry, he's not. He's this game's controversial boss and slightly worse than Clown Man. Irrelevant, you may probably ask yourself, is why Clown Man and Aqua Man are 2 terrible bosses. Yes, they are terrible boss ideas. Don't judge me. You get this because I lost the original recording for this. When my hard drive decided to rewrite itself, the 2 parts that I had to re-record, the 6th and the 7th, they got erased. But what you got is a fresh new batch of me at least. Anyway, this one is a very powerful attack that replaces the charge shot with a laser shot. It's ridiculously broken. It basically cuts through Sniper Joes. It destroys meat tools. It is that very strong weapon. There is another one called the Super Arrow. You probably may have noticed, but anyway, you got the shot, which is basically your Mega Buster, and then your 3 variants. We're only going to be there's only 2 of them that are useful. The rapid parts, not so much. But you may have noticed our charge has gone faster. That's the benefit of hyper speed charging. If you want to use charge shots better, this is the part for you. Of course, you can customize your own Mega Man by playing your own game. Or effectively, you can play Mega Man the way you customize your own character, and it works out fine. The issue with this one was because, because the shots are a bit more increased. Anyway, it's mini boss time. It's this tick. Not exactly particularly sure which one to use here, but I figured we'll go with the shield, the destructive weapon. Gotta be careful though. It's gonna follow you all the way down. When it does that, you hit this thing. I think what you're supposed to be doing is that you're supposed to use the charge shot here, combined with possibly one of the upgraded shots, because it tears the boss to pieces. It really does. Seriously, it does. It's ridiculously powerful. I think the only reason why I went to Aqua Man first, and not say Meteor Man, because I'll probably show you later on in the LP, but if you can basically glitch. You could basically use you could beat Astro Man with the explosive, what's the weapons called? Flash grenade, yeah, flash bomb. You can beat him with flash bomb if it counts as a shield. It's probably another reason why you probably want to do that as well, is because if you use the weapon that we need to get from him on that bit here, We are gonna go back. You are guaranteed to make 2 trips here if you're not so sure. Aqua Man is just Aqua Man for the same reason is that it's just a controversial boss and just a controversial boss. Not a very good stereotype and kind of, well, shit. Here's the bolt that we missed. There's a few bolts here. There's another bolt that we can get in the top left of the screen. The problem with that one is because we haven't got the weapon to ignite the it's hidden in the barrel that ignites, and we haven't got a weapon that ignites yet. We haven't got the weapon yet. Keep an eye on that. There are 2 ways of doing this. There's the upper path and the lower path. We're taking the upper path first because this one is probably the more likely you're gonna see. More or less. Let's just go through these platforms. These platforms been around since have been as again Mega Man staple since 6. Whilst I don't like Mega Man 6, I can understand the platforms being here. They are integral to this franchise now. It adds a bit of extra challenge to the series. Allows you to wait a few seconds for your timings to happen, and then, you know, things go perfectly fine. That's what I always say. This last bit here is a bit of a trudge all the way to the ending here. But more or less, you can get an idea here. Just mentioned before, you can just do whatever you want, really. Charge shots for the classic, laser shot, defeat those things. Other weapons for other weapons. I always forget which ones. Some of these assets do get reused for Mega Man Base. No kidding, because Canon recently acknowledged the game as canon as of Mega Man 9. We are going to be doing Mega Man and Base. The translated one, mind you. I'm not touched the GBA version. The GBA version is bad because it's bad platforming. Right, we're at the boss. Get your flash grenades ready. We are facing Aqua Man. And good lord, prepare to cringe. See? It likes that. Anyway, gotta combine your Mega Shots with your Blaster Mega Buster and your Flash Bombs. The reason why I do this is because, whilst, yes, it doesn't do much damage, it is basically a buffer, a shield weapon, just in case you need some extra damage. And like I mentioned before, it uses the weapon called Water Balloon. Yes, you heard me right. It said water balloon, aka one of the shittiest names to ever grace the Mega Man series. Congratulations, Thunderwall. You have something to say. And then again, whilst the Thunderwall is terrible, the frickin' water balloon is just bad timing and a bad name. And look and behold, the boss is beaten. And because I didn't give a shit, the boss is down. Color scheme could do with a better work. Anyway, mentioned before, this is the water balloon. It's a multi-weapon, and it's basically the weakest weapon in the game. Which means it's going to be useful against Dr. Wily, isn't it? I know these things, and trust me, when I say this weapon is terrible, this weapon is just fucking terrible. It's just a water balloon. There's nothing to it. It's just shit for the sake of shit. Anyway, our bolt total goes up, and all the items that we got through buying the store, they stay with us permanently on the save file. That's really about that. Thankfully, the next boss is actually one of the coolest bosses, and to be perfectly honest, one of my personal pet peeves. When I mentioned that Frost Man was the general representative for this game, and that's really about that. Anyway, we can get the arrow shot, which is the next part that we can get, and we can save here, which we're going to. The arrow shot is just as equally as useful as the laser shot. Whilst it's not destructive, it has its own utilitarian purposes, aka shit useful. Very, very, very useful. Anyway, we're done with this episode of Mega Man 8. Next time, though, we need to take on the real fucking general of Mega Man 8. And it's the guy that we're going to visit the Amazon for. See you guys next time. Bye for now.